Welcome to the Unraveling Achiever, the podcast for the woman who's done everything right and is questioning what that even means. I'm Angela McKay, former SVP of HR turned intuitive career coach. I help accomplished women to stop defaulting to what looks good and start building what feels true, because you don't have to turn your life upside down. You just need to point your achiever energy toward a soul-led career and life you'll love. Every episode, I tune into the energy of what's showing up for my clients and community and share what needs to be heard. No bypassing the mess, just honest guidance for the unraveling that changes everything. So today I want to talk about, I remember sitting in my office as a senior VP of HR, a title I had worked a couple of decades to earn. Along the way, I felt so accomplished with every promotion, with the prestige and the recognition. I've always been the dependable one who gets things done and cares to do them well. But sitting in my office, I felt so disconnected from the work. I was good at my job, really good. People respected me. My paycheck was solid. I'd checked every box I was supposed to check. And still, I found myself unfulfilled. I kept up the images, moved projects forward, and underneath, I was anxious and unhappy. And sure, I'd get boosts of happiness when I was recognized for what I did, but those instances of happiness were fleeting. So it's tough. It's tough when you realize that you're really good at something that you don't love. Being good at something and loving what you do are not the same thing. And with that realization, you feel stuck. And then you have to ask the braver question: what could it look like to point my successful achiever energy towards something I actually love? Wanting work you actually love isn't naive or entitled or unrealistic. It's one of the most aligned things you can do for your life, and it can be absolutely practical. So that's the route I took. It wasn't a dramatic leap. It was years of taking aligned steps in the direction I wanted to go, of discovering my path and purpose and identifying what truly lights me up. And now I can see and feel clearly the difference between just being great at what I do and being great at something I love doing. Because when you don't love your work, when you're just going through the motions, even if you're excelling, it seeps into everything: your relationships, your health, your sense of self. You start to wonder, is this it? Is this all there is? Did I make my bed and now, here I am, I guess? So with that, for today's episode of the Unraveling Achiever, I sat with the energy of loving what you do, not just tolerating it, not just being good at it, but actually loving it. I received 3 messages to help you understand and connect with the energy of loving what you do for you. So the first message, what I got is that the person that is resonating with the messaging that I have today is someone who wants to do the right thing. They love the right thing, but they want to do the right thing for themselves too. And that's not something that they've always prioritized. It's not something that they learned to prioritize. It's not what they grew up seeing, but they want to do the right thing and they love the right thing, but they're at a place too where they want to do the right thing for them too. So if that's you, I'm so happy that you're here listening to these messages. So understanding that loving what you do is right for you is the first step. Loving what you do is right for you, and loving what you do is right for you and the people around you. When you are working in alignment with your soul path and your purpose, you are doing what you were here to do, what you are meant to do. And when you are in alignment with that and you are shining in your full light, when you are expanding into what it is that you were meant for, that is good for you and the people around you and the projects that you're working on. There's messaging around it being like selfish to align yourself with what it is that you want for you. But aligning what it is that you want for you helps you to be better for others, and it helps you to show up in the way that you were meant to show up. And when I say, doing what you want to do for you, we've already established You like the right thing. You want to do the right thing. We know that you're not going to take this message and just throw caution to the wind and lose all compassion for other people. That's not it. But you are going to align more deeply and more closely with what it is that you love doing because it's in alignment with what you are here to do. Also, if you think about it, like to be in alignment with what you want to do, you can extend that same thought to others. You want them to be in alignment with what they're here to do too. You want them to align with what they love, what they are best at, their unique skill set that they were born to shine while they're in their experience here. And if you want that for others, like you need to extend that to yourself too, that you want that for yourself as well. So pointing yourself in the energy of loving what you do is one of the best things that you can do for yourself and others. Message number 2, the energy of loving what you do wants you to know that it doesn't have to be impractical. Often when people think of loving what they do, they kind of go to these further off scenarios where everything feels made up and imaginary, and it seems really unrealistic. But even in the practice of allowing yourself to go into those scenarios, there's energy that exists in those scenarios. There's energy for you to tap into to see what it would feel like if there were no limitations, if that unrealistic vision or what you think is an unrealistic vision were to actually be real. Allow yourself to be fully in the feeling of what that would feel like. Because the feeling is what we're going to be able to grab onto and then pull into the kind of real life, practical life that you're living. There's actually an exercise that I have my clients do in which I ask them to fully immerse themselves into an imaginary world. And it's one of the most difficult practices for them to do because you have to stop that voice from coming in that says, that's not realistic. Who do you think you are? This is a waste of time. You're never going to have that. Like there's this voice that just comes in to cut off the process of dreaming. But it's that process of dreaming that allows you to really tap into the energy of what it is that you love. And as soon as we tap into that energy, we can start translating that into how can I start pulling some of that magic into my real life. So this message, it just has to do with that understanding that loving what you do does not have to be impractical, but let yourself dream about what it is that you would truly love to do because it can inform the real life steps that you take and allow you to align with the energy of what it feels like to love what you do. And the third message, it actually comes from the root chakra. So I was in the energy of loving what you do, and this message came up specifically from the root. It's just saying to let yourself take small steps. Let it feel safe and stable. You don't have to take any of these ideas or that idea of loving what you do or any of the visions that you get and disrupt the life that you've built. You don't have to shake up your nervous system in total to move the direction of loving what you want to do. So loving what you want to do and your root just want you to know that this can be done in small aligned steps. It can feel safe and it can feel stable. Also, the energy of loving what you do doesn't want for you to pretend that you're not human, that you don't have a real world responsibility or many real world responsibilities. The energy of loving what you do wants for you to embrace what it is to be human and to align with path and purpose. So let me say that kind of a different way. When we are in this human experience, we are embracing or signing up for all of the challenge that comes with it. And being human comes with a lot of challenge. And our soul is here to help guide us. So just know that this energy isn't asking you to throw all the caution to the wind. That's not what it's about. It's about how do I, in this human experience, start to integrate my soul path and my soul purpose into what it is that I do? How do I take that challenge of aligning myself with my soul path and my soul purpose as a human who has real world responsibilities? So that's why this message from the root is coming up, just to say it can be small aligned action steps. It can be steady. It can feel safe. It doesn't have to feel like the dramatic Hollywood leap into something brand new. It can be taken in steps. So there's the three messages. And when I think about those and I go back through them, we've got one. I know the folks that are aligned to this message will need to be nudged a little bit in the direction of understanding that what is truly best for them is truly best for everybody. So just allowing yourself to embrace that for you, because you would want others to embrace that as well. When we are truly in our path and purpose, we are doing exactly what we're meant to do, and we're having the most pure impact that we can possibly have. Then it doesn't have to be impractical. It doesn't have to look exactly like the quote unquote unrealistic scenario that you reach out for. But we still want to reach for that scenario because it gives you the feeling of what loving what you do feels like. It allows you to have that feeling in contrast with what it is that you've been otherwise experiencing. So do let yourself go there, because we're going to pull that then into real life and identify the opportunities that you have around you that allow you to tap into that feeling. And then lastly, that you can let yourself take small steps, that you can let yourself feel safe and stable, and that the whole point is to experience some of that vulnerability and that scariness that you know is in alignment, even if it feels a little bit scary, and to let yourself just walk into that step by step without feeling like you have to overturn everything to be able to experience what it is that you love to do. Okay. So if what you heard today resonated, I'd love to support you in going deeper. Soul Reading is a 75-minute one-on-one session where I open your Akashic records and help you reconnect with what your soul already knows about your path and your purpose and what's next. You can learn more and book at AngelaMckayLLC.com/soul-reading. And if this episode landed for you, subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time.